we're guilty. Everything you've accused us of, we're guilty of. When I'm talking to folk who don't want to have nothing to do with the church because of the pitiful, poor testimony of the church, we have to acknowledge. You know how comfortable we get in church? You remember the question I asked? Who's here today who's never been in this church? You know why it ain't nobody here who's never been here? Because we've gotten comfortable just being happy that we came. But Jesus didn't just die for us to have church. The good news is not for us to keep it to ourselves. If it's that kind of good news, we ought to be going out and telling some other folk about this good news that we've been redeemed by the blood of Jesus. When I got saved, you couldn't have a conversation with me, and if I'm lying, there's my wife right over there. You can ask her if I'm lying. She would tell folk, I don't care what you start out talking about. But Jesus going to be part of that conversation at some point. We can talk about the Cowboys, we can talk about the dead skins, and we talk about all that stuff. But at some point, he going to let you know about Jesus. I just couldn't believe the deal I got. The sinful life that I live. I told you all years ago we were invited to a friend's church growing up in Lincoln Park. There are two people sitting back there, and if you can ask them if I'm lying. We got on our Easter suits. They know I'm telling the truth. We got on and our friend of ours invited us to his church. And we went in the church and act like pure fools. We were laughing at stuff so hard. We were all up under the pews laughing at folk up there at the moaning bench and some of that other stuff that we ain't had no idea about. And I've always said after I got saved, if I had been God, I'd have wrote them all for good. Dressed in our new Easter suits, we were so bad that the preacher got up and started talking about us. Easter Sunday morning. And God has the audacity. Y'all been sitting under me for 30 years. That fool. So you can't tell me whether or not Jesus got up. I know he got up because he got up in me. And he didn't get up in me for me to keep it to myself.